The only way people can judge the Klan is by, from our own lips, what we can say about it. And I'm here to say that anybody who wants to be a Klansman, the way to do it is not by being violent, but by being legal and trying to work within the system.
In the 1970s, David Duke was a grand wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, a young leader with the goal of mainstreaming the Klan's racist ideas.
There's plenty of other places in this country that I could live maybe with some Negroes that are integrationists. But what are we talking about? I don't want to live with Negroes.
But in order to effectively go mainstream, the Hood had to go. Duke resigned from the Klan, and he founded a new group, the National Association for the Advancement of White People. He also started running for public office, first as a Democrat, but soon, after an unsuccessful bid for president, he switched to the Republican Party, running for a seat in the Louisiana state legislature in 1989.
I think there's a lot of racial hatred today, but I think it's coming from the other side. There's more minority racism today, I think, than coming from the members of the white majority in America.
Duke's white supremacist views became a focal point in the race.
The newsletter for Duke's White Rights Organization regularly carries ads for neo-Nazi literature and articles urging readers to run for political office to promote a white agenda. The New Orleans telephone directory lists the same address for Duke's residence and the Ku Klux Klan.
Yet many Louisiana voters embrace Duke.
You got my full support.
I think it's good.
Yeah, it's about time.
And you know what? I'm the white people, so it's sticking together.
But the notion of a former Klansman running for office in 1989 was too much for the standard bearers of the Republican Party.
The GOP is embarrassed that Duke is running as a Republican. There is concern that a victory for him would tarnish the party's image with black voters.
That concern went all the way to the White House.
I'm shocked about it. In fact, I heard that George Bush is sending out a letter to my district supporting my opponent.
Both Duke and his opponent for a seat in the state legislature, businessman John Treen, are running as Republicans. President Bush sent this letter to voters in the district asking them to support Treen.
Yet those efforts weren't enough to dissuade voters. Duke won by less than 300 votes. Republican Party Chairman Lee Atwater, the brains behind George H.W. Bush's infamous Willie Horton campaign ad, wanted Duke kicked out of the party.
Mr. Lee Atwater should simply have said, well, the people are spoken. The Republican Party is available for anybody.
The National Party censured Duke, and President Bush defended his involvement in the local election.
Maybe there was some feeling in Metairie, Louisiana, that the President of the United States involving himself in a state legislative election was improper or overkill. I can't deny that, but what I can affirm is I did what I did because of principle.
Duke's political aspirations only grew, and in 1990 he ran for U.S. Senate and found a base of support.
One reason why the welfare system is out of control is because we have a massive illegitimate welfare birth rate in this country. I mean, they're literally breeding faster than they can raise your taxes to pay for them all.
He's a symbol of frustration for these people. They don't feel that that major parties are answering their questions.
You've got a lot of good ideas that we've been saying for a long time. It's time somebody to do it.
Yet Duke's days as a Klansman played out in a political ad by the Democratic senator he hoped to unseat.
David Duke led the Ku Klux Klan as an adult.
There is no more truly representative symbol of the white race than the flowery cross. It is our symbol. White victory. White victory.
Duke lost his bid for Senate, but that didn't deter him from running for governor of Louisiana the following year. And a few familiar themes reappeared.
The nomination of a former Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan as the Republican candidate for governor has the political establishment and a lot of others in a state of anxiety.
Efforts from local political leaders to derail Duke's campaign didn't seem to matter.
The voters of Louisiana have heard all that before. They've seen television images of Duke at Ku Klux Klan cross-burning. And yet, a growing number of voters like Lori Roy are willing to overlook that because they are angry with other politicians.
Everybody overlooks us, and we're here. You know, they can't overlook us. They can't do it. And he understands.
It was a contentious runoff race against Democratic Governor Edwin Edwards, who had stood trial for racketeering and had been acquitted.
For business to vote for you, they'd have to hold their nose, close their eyes, and cover their ears. Business, you have been opposed.
To you, they'd have to get out from under the sheets. But nevertheless, they have to make that decision.
That's a cheap shot.
It soon became clear that Duke was woefully unprepared to run for governor of Louisiana.
How many people in your state live below the poverty line?
A great percentage. So we have the highest per capita percentage in the country, just about the last 5 states of the country.
How many?
I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, sir.
Sir,
I don't carry around an almanac with me.
Well, if I told you it was 25% of your state lived below the poverty line, would you believe me?
I could believe you, yes.
Are these the kinds of things the governor should know?
Duke lost the election, but won over half of the white vote. A few more ill-fated runs at political office followed, including another bid for president. By 2000, Duke decided to join a political group known as the Reform Party. That did not sit well with one of the party's bigwigs, who himself was mulling a presidential run on the Reform Party ticket.
I'm not going to be running. The party is, as you know, self-destructing.
When you say the party is self-destructing, what do you see as the biggest problem with the Reform Party right now?
Well, you've got David Duke just joined, a bigot, a racist, a problem. I mean, this is not exactly the people you want in your party.
16 years later, Trump and Duke find themselves in the same party once again.
Will you unequivocally condemn David Duke and say that you don't want his vote or that of other white supremacists in this election?
Well, just so you understand, I don't know anything about David Duke, okay? I don't know anything about what you're even talking about with white supremacy or white supremacy.